Welcome. Today we're going to do multi-step inequalities or solve multi-step inequalities. So let's just start right off. Let's look at this first one here. This actually still is just a two-step inequality. First thing I'm going to do is minus 7 from both sides, right? So I'm going to isolate this term, this fraction that has the variable in it. So when I minus 7 from both sides, those cancel, and I'm left with a d over negative 1 is greater than or equal to negative 4, because that's 3 plus negative 7, or 3 minus 7. Now, again, with inequalities, we need to be very, very careful. Anytime I multiply or divide by a negative, that inequality symbol is going to flip. And that's what I need to do here to get rid of this division of negative 1. I'm going to multiply both sides by negative 1. I'm undoing what's been done. That leaves me a d on the left side, because those cancel. And it leaves me a positive 4 on the right side, but since I multiplied by a negative number, I'm going to flip the inequality symbol, and I get d is less than or equal to 4. d is less than or equal to 4. Again, this one looks just like that last one, so maybe what I'm going to do is let's just quickly do it, and we'll move on. So again, I'm going to have that v over negative 3 is minus 2 is greater than 1. So again, first thing I'm going to do is add 2 to both sides to get rid of the 2. That's going to leave me the v over negative 3 is greater than 3. Again, adding never changes that, or subtracting. So then I'm going to multiply by negative 3. And again, if I multiply by a positive number, I wouldn't change it. But since I'm multiplying by a negative 3, that changes that inequality symbol, or flips it, and I get v is less than negative 9. So v is less than negative 9. All right, so I am going to try to shrink this up just a little bit, so I can get to here and actually jump ahead to make sure. Now here's one that has a parentheses involved. So this can either be a 2-step or a 3-step, depending on how you want to do it. So again, if you want to do the distributive property, by all means, there is nothing wrong with doing the distributive property. Distributing in that 4 times d is 4d. 4 times negative 4 is going to be a minus 16. I can multiply. 4 times 4 is 16. Is greater than or equal to 8. Now I'm going to add 16 to both sides. That's going to be a 4d is greater than or equal to 24. Again, when I add it on both sides, it doesn't change the inequality symbol. Now I'm going to divide by 4. Now I'm dividing by a positive number. That means that does not change, and I get a d, because the 4's cancel, is greater than or equal to 6. So d is greater than or equal to 6. Okay, here's a little bit bigger one. This one I might try to do just a little differently, and I'm going to show you what I mean by a little differently. I'm going to actually keep the variable on the right side of the equation. I'm not going to distribute. I'm actually just going to start undoing the subtraction. Then I'm going to undo this multiplication. Then I'm going to undo this addition. So the first thing I'm going to do is add 6 to both sides of this equation, or this inequality actually. The 6's cancel. Since I'm adding, the inequality symbol will not change. Negative 13 plus 6 is going to be a negative 7. Negative 7. I'm left with the 7 parentheses, a plus 4. Now what I'm going to do is divide by this 7 here. So I'm going to divide both sides by 7. Now I divided by a positive 7, so that means I'm not going to change that inequality symbol. Negative 7 divided by positive 7 is negative 1, is greater than a plus 4, because the 7's cancel. Now I'm just going to minus 4 from both sides. Again, adding and subtracting never changes that inequality symbol. So that's left as a greater than symbol. Negative 1 minus 4 more is negative 5. And then The 4 and negative 4 cancel, leaving the a. So I got a is less than negative 5. And again, I believe it would be perfectly fine if you typed in negative 5 is greater than a. Terrific. Okay, here's one where we're going to end up dividing by a negative. So we have the negative 6 plus a negative 4w is less than negative 2. Again, I'm going to add 6 to both sides first. That leaves me the negative 4w is less than 4. Again, adding does not change the inequality symbol. Now I'm going to divide by negative 4. Now I divided by a negative, so now that inequality symbol flips. Remember, if you ever multiply or divide by a negative number, it flips. W's left, and then 4 divided by negative 4 is negative 1. And we get W is greater than negative 1. Okay, let's see how much harder these might get if I was to go up a little higher in the difficulty. Let's jump up to, maybe let's jump. It's thinking. Oh, they're going to give you some double signs, a minus. Be careful with that one. Let's do that one really quickly. Maybe I won't even adjust my thing here. I'll just do it right here. I'm going to do the negative 16. Now, when I do this minus the minus, I'm just going to put plus 2y, because, right, is less than or equal to negative 24. Then I've already taken care of that minus the minus. So first thing I'm going to do is add 16 to both sides. I'm left with a 2y is less than or equal to negative 8. Again, adding didn't change the inequality symbol. Divide by a positive 2. Since it's a positive 2, I'm not going to change the inequality symbol. And I get y is less than or equal to negative 4. Y is less than or equal to negative 4. And I'm going to jump one more time. See if in the 90s makes it any more difficult. That doesn't look any more difficult. Even gives me another option, move up to 95. They're going to give you decimals, but we can deal with decimals, right? Again, I recommend you either have a calculator handy or just go off to the side of your paper and do that decimal. I'll do this last one and we'll call it good for the day. 1.35c plus 9.97 equals, I'm going to run out of room there. Let's see, there we go, there was some more room. 1.35c plus 9.97 is less than 1.87. So I'm going to minus the 9.97 minus the 9.97. Leaves the 1.35c is less than, minusing doesn't change the inequality symbol. That's going to be 0, that's going to be 1. I'm doing 9 minus 8 is 1. 9 minus 1 is 8. The larger number was the negative, so it's a negative 8.1. And now I'm going to divide by 1.35, divide by 1.35. Again, dividing by 1.35 is a positive number, so the inequality symbol will not change. And I'll get C is less than. So I'm just grabbing a calculator really quickly. I don't think you can see it on my screen, but I have a calculator on my screen, and I'm doing 8.1 divided by 1.35. So there's nothing wrong with using, oh, and guess what that gives us? 6. By the way, it was a negative 8.1 divided by a positive, so it'd be negative 6. So I come over here and I type in C is less than negative 6. If you have any questions, do bring them to class and I will more than gladly help you.